Hey guys, this is KiXSTAr, and real quick, I just wanted to do a visual update so you guys know the struggle. Before I had a splint, and now I have a cast. I just got this on today, and as you can see, my ring finger and pinky finger are running perpendicular to my hand, so I cannot I can't look at the struggle. I cannot touch the mouse. Attempting to touch the mouse doesn't work. So. I just wanted to put that out there, guys. I won't be playing video games for the next 3 weeks while I have this cast on. After it comes off, I've got a brace. I might be able to play with that. But in the meantime, this is pretty much it. This video for the next 3 weeks. And yeah. Anyway, let's get into the Q&A and see you in a sec.
Eliminate the enemy team. Round start.
Alright, guys. So let's just jump right into it. First thing I'm going to say is I am just doing these. I'm winging it. I did not write a script for this. I did not think too much about this. I am just going for it, you know, YOLO swag style, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, let's jump right in. First question, Mike Miz. How did you learn to edit videos? Where did you find Warface? And when did you start to like the M217? How did I learn to edit videos? Basically just tutorials, watching a whole bunch of tutorials on Sony Vegas Pro. You know, you jumble them together and you got a rudimentary knowledge of how to use Sony Vegas Pro. That's pretty much it, you know, nothing else to that. How did you find Warface, or where did you find Warface? Just random websites on the internet, you know. I was looking for a new game to play, and Warface, you know, caught my eye. Just another free-to-play FPS, I thought, and I really got to liking it, so, yeah. And when did I start to like the M217? I started to like the M217 when I first started, because the guy who brought me into or who really, like, you know, taught me a whole bunch of stuff when I started out was Gunnit. You may know him. He's an old Warface player, doesn't play anymore. And his dream, you know, his baby was the M217, and I, you know, wanted to be on that boat, you know, the M217 guy. And he taught me how to use it before I even owned it, and once I got it, you know, I loved it, man. First time I used it, I loved it. Anyway, next question. By Incurgio, were you this good starting off playing FPS games? How many years have you been playing FPS games? Okay, so I think I started playing FPS games when I was like, maybe 9 or 10 years old. When I used to live in Oregon, and the first games I played were Battlefield. First person shooter games I played were Battlefield 2 and Battlefield 2142. And no, I was horrendous. I was so bad at those games. You really need to invest time and keep going at it to actually become good at video games. And really, no, it's not just something you inherit. You know, you're not just good at video games or bad at video games. You really have to put in effort and time. You know, there are certain levels of natural skill and talent, but you really have to invest your time. Next question. The Deweys. What is the purpose of constantly switching weapons back and forth? I see a lot of people doing it. I don't really understand why. Maybe I'm just a noob. I don't know. People just do that for fun. It's just like a random thing that people do. It's filling the empty space with stimulation on your screen, basically. There's no actual reason to do it. People just like to do it. Next question by Jybir. Is Popty a troll on purpose, or does he just go with the flow? He just goes with the flow. Next question by Ghost Wolf. Any tips on no-scoping, and do you have any special sniper spots you can show us? I'm not going to show you any in this video. I am working on... I want to do more tutorials, guys, but again, with the cast, we're going to have to wait on that. But no-scoping, yes, I do have some tips on that. No-scoping is realistic. It's something that you can do very, very easily, and it's not an unrealistic, you know... It's really actually a good strat to use is no scoping. If you're close enough to the enemy, you may as well. Proning and sliding. proning and sliding will drop your spread significantly, even as a sniper. It really, really helps. Always prone, always slide. If you're good, if you're like let's say 5 feet from the enemy, slide to them. Slide to them. Just keep your crosshair center mass, and eventually the crosshair will shrink to a small enough size from the slide that you can just like pop them without any chance of missing. Anyway, next question. Raimundo Valencia, what a name. Do you fap? No. I'm inhuman. Anyway, next question. Nip Slip, what do you use to capture gameplay? Is it free? If not, what free video capturing programs do you recommend? Basically, I use Shadowplay, and yes, it is free, but you have to have a GeForce card of like 500 or higher, I think. It's a NVIDIA card with 500 series or higher, I think, is the requirement. If you don't have a NVIDIA card and you still want to the great thing about Shadowplay is it doesn't drop any frames because it uses, I don't know exactly why, but basically it uses the hardware itself. And, you can use things like Fraps and DX Story, but they are going to drop like 20 frames. So I highly advise, if you can, get Shadowplay. And you can figure out for yourself if you're compatible. And if you can't, I think Raptor works with AMD to do some kind of recording thing that's like Shadowplay, but I don't really recall. Next question by Warface Vinny. Have you ever sniper one-on-one with weapon ops from Exodus? If so, score. I don't remember. I don't think so. So no, I guess. Next question, Gaming BK47. How to be good at any FPS system game? Which other game style you're good at apart from FPSs? How to be good at any FPS? Practice, I guess. And what other FPS? Whatever game style. RTSs. I played. I've been the first game or RTSs and hack and slashes. The first game I ever played in my entire life was Diablo 2, and I love Diablo 2. God, that was my favorite game of all time. I really have a lot of nostalgia with that game. I played Diablo 3, of course. Not as good, but it's pretty good. And RTS wise, the first RTS I ever played was Rome Total War, not the second one, but Rome Total War, and I loved that game. Both those two games are like my childhood. Those were my babies. I played them forever. But yeah, those are two other genres I'm good at. I usually stick to first-person shooters these days, mostly. It's just what I prefer. Tanzim Zeus something. I don't know that. Tanzim. I'm gonna call you Tanzim. What's your name? Your real name? Michael. Next question. Dallas MX. Okay, would you fuck the barrel of the M217 for $125 for at least 15 minutes? My dick would not fit in that tiny asshole. And it's metal, so it's not like it's gonna flex. Grizzly RU asks, what do you use to edit videos? Sony Vegas Pro. And Grizzly RU also asks, do you think G-Face would make a tournament? I wish they would make a tournament, but right now, as the server has moved, yeah, no. Not right now. Maybe later, but the likelihood is just, it's probably not gonna happen. Pizza 00, I'm just gonna call you Pizza, asks, just wondering, is there any way to get the AC7 SMG currently, or is it like the Arkarkam SMG and you can't get it? If not, what would be a good gun for Engineer that you can get now? No, you can't get it. Like the Karkam SMG, the Karkam SNR, the BT50, and the Scar H, and a number of other guns, they have been rotated out of the game seemingly permanently. I'm not sure why they've done this. I honestly couldn't say. But SMG wise, other than that, A3 9mm XS is a good gun. The UMP is a good gun, and the MX4 I hear is a good gun. Those are some options, but yeah. The CCR CQB is currently the best available SMG as far as I can recall. But yeah, you can't get it anymore. A lot of those guns got rotated out. General of the Army asks who I think the best player in North America is. I think that the best player in North America, that's up for you to decide. I could tell you some of, other than myself, there's like Death Radar Casbo, Riga, Filoni, Pop Depop, Celestine, and a number of other players who I'm not so familiar with right now. But, you know, those are just some of the better players. They all happen to be in my clan, but there's a reason for that, obviously. Really, this is something that's up for you to decide. Everyone has a different opinion. I've had people tell me that I'm the best player in North America, and I've had people tell me that Casbo is the best player in North America, and I've had people tell me that, you know, all of the various different people are the best player in North America, and it really comes down to the day someone's having. The best player in North America could be the worst player in North America if he's having a bad day. So, and since all these things aren't statistically tracked, it's really hard to say. So, again, up to you. Jeff Donaldson asks, do you think you would play as well if you had a red bar? Because whenever I snipe, I'm a red bar, by the way, I hit the person I'm aiming at, but if he's sniping, he almost... yeah. Okay, so what you're saying is he outshoots you, and then you continue by asking, also, do you ever get lagged back like 5 meters? Yeah, that happens all the time. That actually doesn't have to do with your ping. That's just Warface being Warface. Plenty of people have that problem. And funny you should ask that question, because I am actually a red bar now. I get 100 ping on the new server change. And do I think I play as well with a red bar? Well, I can't really tell you based upon my new experience, because I have a cast, so I can't really say. I do feel the hurt, and I have experienced it. When I was in Europe, for example, I got about 180 ping, I think, or something like that in Europe. And I did really notice the difference, and it was really, really horrendous. I couldn't snipe. I could not snipe. I had to use a rifle. That was the only way I could compete. I also had to use a red bar pro tip. Use a high rate of fire gun. If you're a red bar, use a high rate of fire gun. That is your baby. High rate of fire, and that's all you really need. But no, I could not snipe with a red bar. I couldn't do it. And yeah, I do lag back. That's just Warface. Has nothing to do with your ping. M217 for the win asks, do you think the TWM should get buffed? So, interesting you should ask. It's an interesting question. The TWM used to be viable. It used to be a good gun, and then they nerfed it to shit, and they just never brought it back. Their balancing choices that Crytek make absolutely no sense. Like, they nerfed the TWM, which was like borderline good, but not really good. They didn't nerf the M217, which was always, in my opinion, better. And they haven't nerfed the Carcom. They haven't nerfed their Carcom SNR. You know, all their balancing decisions make no sense. So do I think it should get buffed? Yes. Will it get buffed? Probably not. Nanny Production asks, hey Kix, as one of your subscribers, okay, what program do you use while playing to capture while you're playing? So Shadowplay, already answered that. Tips for sniper beginner. Watch my tutorials. Do you think which pistol do you think is best? Oh my gosh, this English. Ah. The best pistol currently in the North American server is the P57. The best pistol in the game is the SIG, which is not released on the North American or European server. It is currently only on the Russian server, but it is undisputably the best pistol in the game. So I'm just gonna pretend that that was one question. Islam, okay. I'm just gonna call you Amaved because I know that name from in-game. Is it true that you can determine where the enemy is by facing a wall and keeping still for a moment? Because many people I'm subscribed to are doing this, especially in Clan Wars, and they start yelling there too, and I'd be like, oh my god, are you a wizard? So what they're doing is it's called sound whoring. And basically they have a headset on, they have their sound in-game volume all the way up, and the reason they're standing still looking at a wall is because looking at the wall being next to the wall is a safe spot, and it gets you close as you can to where you suspect people are, and standing still removes your footsteps so that you can hear the other footsteps more clearly. So by sound whoring, they're trying to listen for the enemy's footsteps. For example, if you're looking at the... let's just talk about yard for a second. If you're in connector, if you don't know what connector is, rip. If you're in connector and you're watching 2 main lane, and you want to hear if someone's coming up 2 main lane, you put yourself right against the wall so you're close as you can be to them, and to where you suspect they might be, and you just stop moving and you start listening, and you hear the footsteps. Well, they're into main lane. You hear explosions, gunshots, etc. It's just, yeah, it's called sound whoring. Next question, Jasper Van de Heg. I don't know. I'm sorry if I name any of your names. It's just, I guess I'm not good at names. Do you remember the booster, and would you consider yourself the best sniper in all? Wow. Best Warface sniper of all, or at least best Warface sniper in A. As I said earlier, I don't consider anyone to be the best at anything. Everyone has good and bad days. Also, I'm like the most biased party you could ask about that, so I'm not really going to answer that question, as I really can't answer it accurately. Statistically, people aren't tracking the statistics of my performance and everyone else's performance, so I cannot give you an accurate answer. I can tell you I think I'm a pretty good sniper. I think there are probably better snipers in Warface, like Russian snipers, for example, who blow me out of the water. So, yeah, I wouldn't say I'm the best in Warface. As for NA, I really couldn't say. There are some competitors who I mentioned earlier. I don't remember the booster, though. That was probably someone I met on stream. It's vague, but I don't remember it, really. Victor Yozan asks, why are you so nice? And my answer is, you obviously don't know me very well. To the people who do know me, I'm a bit of an asshole, actually, so... I'm not a nice person. Let's just leave it at that. I'm not gonna try to pronounce that. Is the Sleepy clan just for really old players, or is it just a friendly YouTube buddy clan? So Sleepy, I'm gonna take this time to explain Sleepy to those who don't know anything about us. Sleepy is a competitive team filled with people who I consider to be the best players in North America. Right now, Sleepy, this may change in the future, but right now Sleepy contains what I perceive to be, for me, the best players in North America. We got Pop, Death Radar, Casbo, Riga, Celestine, and Filoni. Those, to me, are some of the best players in North America, and to me, I like to spend my time with those people more than anyone else on the entire server.
I'm pretty sure
But we are all old-time buddies, and most of us have, everybody but Celestine, I can't remember, I don't know if Celestine has a YouTube channel, but everybody but Celestine has a YouTube channel, so that's just a coincidence. Enough about that. Anyway, moving on. Pop asks, am I really sexy, or do people just say that? From what I can tell, Pop, people are just telling you that. I'm really sorry to be the one to tell you this, but you're actually batshit ugly, and you should be ashamed of, putting your face on the internet. And, I actually heard that a few friends of mine went blind looking at you stream, Popty. I'm so sorry to be the one to tell you this, but, and they're not going to sue or anything, but, their lives have been ruined, and, I don't want to think about it anymore. Let's move on. This guy asks, can you do a setup video, please? Or the specs of your PC. The specs of my PC are in the About section of my YouTube channel. And can I do a setup video? Maybe in the future. That's a good idea. I can do that. I mean, we'll see. Blood asks, do you have anger issues? God, yes. I totally do. Absolutely. Zcor asks, do you think Crytek will manage to keep Warface alive or even make it a success? By success, I mean a competitor for games like CSGO. Okay. It's a free-to-play title, man. And CSGO is like, the pinnacle of competitive first-person shooter. Do I think they'll be able to keep it alive? I don't know, man. Some of the shit they do, I don't know. I'd say if I were working for them, maybe. Make it a success? Oh, probably not. Make it a competitor? God no. God no. Competitor CSGO? It's never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. Sorry if I'm crushing any dreams or anything, but that's never going to happen. And I guess that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry it got a little long. I tried to keep it as compact as I possibly could. And again, I will not be making a video until this cast comes off. So 3 weeks, guys. 3 weeks. I'll see you in 3 weeks. I might put something out, but don't count your lucky stars. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one, and thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.
Yeah, he's he won't.
Bomb acquired.
Let's get that shit.
Bomb planted.
Alright, fall back. I'll watch the backside one, Kix, more. Oh, Marcus. Slow down.
Enemy team eliminated. Round successful.
I'm like, slow down.
Deploy
Slow
the
down.
bomb.
That's it.
Round start. Bomb acquired.
I'm a nade and win. Nade. No hits in window. They're native. I'm hit.
Bomb dropped. Round lost.
We
The
got
enemy
plenty of-
eliminated our team.
There's only so much you can do, Cass. We got
Deploy
plenty
the bomb
rounds
at the
hit.
enemy plant site. Round start. Bomb
I'm gonna throw a nade
acquired.
over just Nah, bet wow. Ooh, nice. Blue room, one on site. There should be one on site.
Bomb dropped. Round successful.
Sorry.
Enemy team eliminated.
Yo, I had to back myself into a corner. You'll see it in the video, but I backed myself into a corner to scratch my back, and you were getting knocked down in the process. It's like always when I gotta do. I didn't really do too well, but fuck.